Don't worry about it.
Are you guys recording?
Yeah.
You guys are really high tech. Look at you.
I know, aren't we?
I'm like, I'm so blown
We're
away.
pros.
I'm so blown away.
That sweet little voice you hear is Nicole Crawford.
Nicole
Hello.
Crawford.
Sam, have you spent a lot of time with
such
Nicole?
a sexy last name. No.
That's not.
Have you not?
No,
No.
not really.
No.
Our
guys-
main like bonding moment was her birthday this year.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah. Yeah.
The two of you.
At your birthday?
Yeah.
Yeah. When
Yeah.
we were like,
Hiding in the
everything
corner.
okay? Is everything okay?
Your main. Yes, because you were scared of Sam up until then.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Because
Like,
like
just intimidated by you. I was like,
Really?
yeah. You're
Why?
like the cool friend.
Am I?
Yes.
Oh my God. Like
100%. And you guys have known each other for so
know.
long.
that's such a compliment.
And then,
history
like-
going.
Yeah.
But
I'm
am I scary? Am I actually scary?
No, I don't think you're
No,
like,
I
but
don't
like,
think so. Your text just scared
Am
me.
I commanding?
I would say you are.
You I love it.
And
Give
it's
me
just
more.
like that you
You're
have
t-
like
I
this
wanted
aura,
to scare you.
like you have an
But you
aura
did scare
about
me.
you.
What'd
You're
you say?
you have an aura. It's like you're not mean or you're not scary, but there's something like you guys are so bonded that you don't want to like.
Is it that?
That's
or is it that I'm
intimidating.
just like a strong like entity.
I think it's both.
It definitely is. It definitely is. No, I know. And I know that you used to work for Kottie like 100 years ago, right?
I mean, I still do.
Oh, well, I always will be like, oh, you mean your assistant? And she'll just like, she hasn't been my assistant in like 10
No,
years.
the other day, no, I get introduced
All the
by
time,
a lot
my
of
whole
people in your
family.
life that are like, oh, this is Cottie's assistant, Nicole.
So wait, give us a little backstory for those of us that don't know.
Nicole started working at the same company as me.
Mhm.
I did not like her at all.
No, she like
I re-
actively
I-
told the person that
everyone.
hired me
I was
to
like,
not
bad
hire
hire.
me.
Why?
I was like, bad hire.
Yeah.
Why?
It was like, your picker's off. I just didn't like her. I thought she was arrogant. I thought she was too big for her britches.
No, you didn't.
No, I did.
You thought I was arrogant?
Not arrogant. I thought you were just a little too confident for your age.
That's hilarious because no part of me was confident when I walked in.
That's
At
probably
that
it was
job.
probably a facade you put up
Wow.
Probably.
It worked.
because you were nervous.
Well, oh, then that tracks actually.
And she would walk in every day and be like, "Hey, Kottie," and I'm like, "Stop, just stop. It's not happening."
Whoa.
I would. I'd be
Well,
like,
you have really climbed the corporate ladder. So I feel like for you, you want like I think
Yeah,
now
it
it's
took me a long
changed
time.
But
and
I
it's
came in
different.
as an assistant.
you did.
Yes, but still, like you're like you
Yeah.
better pay your dues.
Mhm.
I'm like,
and I did.
You did. She totally
Okay,
did.
okay.
But anyway, so
I think you did.
We started with
did.
a very rocky beginning,
Yes.
and then
And then she needed me. And then she
I
got an
know.
assistant and like I
Yeah.
had to choose between two teams and one of the teams was hers and she
Yeah.
was like, "You love me. Don't you want to come work for me? This and that."
I was like,
I'm
I
like,
think
"Oh,
we're friends
now."
now.
I think,
Romance
I
too.
think
Oh,
we're friends
now.
now. So yeah.
Yeah.
And then how long has it been since you moved on from her?
Well, she's never moved on technically.
No, no.
Well,
So since that assistant job, like 5 and a half, 5
Yeah,
years,
yeah.
4.5 years.
but you still work together.
still worked together. Even when like I ended up getting promoted,
Yeah.
I still worked with her.
Even
There
when I
was-
became her boss.
No.
Still working with her. Yeah.
No, literally, like from that moment on, I don't think we've ever had a day in our work lives where we haven't.
I don't want to know
worked.
what work is like
No.
without you.
It's very codependent
Yeah.
at this point.
It's really fucked up.
HR asked her the other.
You are codependent. Like it's funny for us as like not needy as of a person as you are because I feel like you're not like it's weird. You're sort of both because you're not needy, and I often
But
feel
she
like
wants people.
I'm more needy than you in every way that you're not needy.
I'm emotionally
But you're
territorial.
you're
I'm emotionally
I
territorial.
am
Where
too.
I go, your parties, I'm like, no, she's mine. And thank God we have a podcast now together because now all the people know she's mine. And I'm like, yeah, I'm that one.
See,
I'm-
I'm the one.
That's
But
why you guys are scary, by the way. When you bring in new
But there's a
people.
codependence that
Okay.
you do with like your relationships, and it's like a different brand of
Yeah.
codependence, and I think
It's
it
weird.
stems from your closeness with your family. That isn't necessarily a negative, but there is a codependence with your parents and a codependence with your sister, which you've I think matured.
we have.
Well, it's 'cause you're the
grown.
baby.
Yes, but there is that, and so I feel like you also have that in your relationships, and in like sprinkles of it in your relationships, and it's sweet, but it is like a through line for you.
HR asked her the other day how she's doing without me.
Stop
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. They're like, "Are you okay?"
Everyone asks me. I'm like, guys, I'm fine.
Are you wait
I
because
wasn't
you're
her
because you're on
surrogate.
maternity leave?
She's
Mhm.
on mat leave.
And I'm taking a good little chunk.
How much maternity leave do they give you?
Not, I mean, the standard amount, like the
So-
8 weeks of.
Organic birth, you get 6 weeks. Like
Stop it.
Like,
Really?
6
It's
weeks.
judged by that?
Mhm.
Yeah.
You get
No.
more if you get
Yeah.
a C-section.
C-section, you get 8.
But this is all put in place
8
because
years.
of this is all put in place because of the state.
I find that a little messed up that they would give you more time for a C-section. I mean, of course, yes, you're healing, but the baby's the baby. I mean, it's more about the baby
Well,
to
the
me.
first part of it is just medical.
Yeah.
And then after that is like your child bonding.
The first part is really based on like how long does it take a woman to heal?
Yeah.
And technically it does take 2 weeks longer. 2 to 3 weeks longer if you have a C-section.
Emotionally though.
I just think it should be the same across the board. But anyway,
I agree.
I mean, I get
yeah.
what you're saying, but
Yeah.
no. Okay, so you just had your first baby.
Mhm. I did.
How old is he?
He is 8 weeks yesterday, actually.
Oh my God.
He's a grown
What's his
man.
name?
Miles.
Miles. So
Miles.
cute. What's his middle name?
Koa.
Koa. Miles Koa. With an
Miles.
I, of course, with an I.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what my fiance said
course
too.
with an I.
Because Miles with a Y is like very Utah, I would say.
Yeah, it's like odd.
Very like, ooh.
Yeah.
I visualize
What's a
it like
different
Miles
way to say
Davis.
Miles?
Yeah.
Throw a Y in there.
Yeah.
Make it
Throw a
younger.
Y.
Make it hip.
Miles.
But Miles was born a month early.
Mhm.
Oh gosh.
I was at work. I went into work. Kottie
It was my
wasn't there.
First day off.
Uh-huh.
Did they think that was going to happen? Was that like, were they talking about that or no?
Not at all. Not
Okay.
at all. 2 weeks prior, we had done a 5K together, which I was very active. Like we also
Yeah.
weren't running it. We were
Yeah.
walking
You
a
were
slow
8 months
circle.
pregnant. Everyone's like, we're so proud of you.
I know people were giving me a lot of thumbs
Yeah.
up. But like I was very active. Like I was working out throughout my whole pregnancy. We did the 5K and then the next day we went to the office and I was like, something is interesting down under.
Yeah.
And so
What was happening?
She was leaking.
I was leaking.
Hmm.
But not in like but everyone tells you like, oh,
Like
you're
very
gonna-
lightly.
very lightly.
Yeah.
But I was like, that's like more than usual. And
Yeah.
then so my doctor's office was right around the corner
Yeah.
from the office. So I popped in. They're like, you're fine. You're probably peed yourself. And I was like, okay,
They said that to
cool.
me too.
They say that to a lot of people.
Yeah. So they tested the fluid
They tested. No,
for pH.
they
No,
didn't.
They didn't.
They didn't.
Right.
I went and they put me on like the contraction machine thing. I wasn't having contractions. And
In the
she
office or like at
in
the
the
hospital?
office.
Okay.
And then she like just looked and was like, yeah, it's not fluid. I was like, okay. And then I left.
Because they're like, you're not having contractions. It's just,
Yeah.
it's probably, yeah.
She
okay.
didn't test anything though. And she just looked, she's like, it just looks like normal fluid. So I was like, okay, like this was normal.
And this was at 36 weeks?
33, 32, 33.
Okay.
And then 2
Oh,
weeks.
yes.
Well, when did I have him? 36.
You had him
So
4 weeks
33.
early.
So then
Uh-huh.
2 weeks later, it happened again.
Yeah.
Started happening. And again, like,
Did it stop?
It stopped.
Oh.
Then I had my routine appointment the next week.
Yeah.
I was like, this happened. They were like, oh, it's normal. Like, you're fine. Like, we'll
It's
see you
urine?
soon.
They kept saying it's urine?
They kept saying, well, at this point, it had stopped. So,
Yeah,
like,
okay.
there was really nothing to
Interesting.
report.
Very interesting. Okay.
Week after,
Yeah.
Monday morning, I'm like, leaking again. But they said it's normal. So I, like, went about my day, worked out. I felt fine. Everything was good.
Worked out.
Tuesday, again. Tuesday, I literally
Mhm.
was on the treadmill for,
Mhm.
like, it was like, everything was normal. But I was, like, leaky. And I called my mom. She was like, you should call them again. And she was like, just call the on-call doctor. I was like, but it's not serious. Like, they're going to think I'm, like just a baby who keeps, like,
Yeah.
complaining about the
Yeah.
same thing. And my fiance was like, let's just call. And so I called. They were like, if you want, like, you can come tomorrow. So I call, make an appointment in the morning. I go into the office, like, literally business as usual. I'm like, okay, like, I'll be back, guys. Like, everything's fine. Like, I feel
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
I stroll in.
Yeah.
They're like, looks like fluid. Like,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
test it. They're
yeah.
like, so it is amniotic fluid.
Yeah.
They, like, check my cervix.
Yeah.
Oh, you're 4 centimeters dilated. Do you feel anything? I'm
Is
like,
that a lot? I don't even know.
Halfway.
it's almost
halfway.
halfway.
Okay, see.
I was like,
Look at you with the knowledge.
medical.
Yeah.
I was like, no. I mean, I guess I now feel a little pressure in my butt, honestly, at that point. Like, no pain.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah, you feel it in your butt a little.
Well, not until anyone asked me. And then I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, then I started feeling it in my butthole. And they were like, okay, we're gonna wheel you over, you know. I guess I feel everything.
yeah.
Because once the water breaks, then you start contracting typically, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like every movie is
Gush.
like whoosh.
Yeah.
There was no whoosh.
Yeah.
And I was 4 centimeters dilated. They wheeled me over in a wheelchair to the
At
hospital
36 weeks.
At 35 weeks and 6 days.
So it
I
was
was
that
sitting
day.
at an
It was
airport.
that day that he
The
had him?
next day.
The next day. So
Mhm.
36 exactly.
Mm-hmm. But I guess
So-
this happens. You can have a high leak rupture and then it can heal itself.
I was just going to say, I don't know that they would have done anything different had they even identified it as
what if they
amniotic
would have
fluid.
just told me?
I think they would have waited and see. They might have said to you, bed rest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hello. They could have said, I was
You're like
working
bring it
out
on.
4 or 5
But
days a week.
honestly, anything after like 34 weeks, your baby's
You're
like
good.
fully done. My
know,
second
that's
was
what
born
you're saying.
super early. Do you know that?
That's what Kottie kept telling me. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
And
So I had a
everything was
leak
good.
too.
yeah.
It just
I
didn't
don't know,
stop.
but she started as soon as she started saying this. I was like, this feels eerily
don't-
similar.
Don't
Well,
you think
but
they
she
could
was
have just
already so
warned
far
me?
along.
I
Yeah.
was
What'd you
like,
say?
there was-
Couldn't they just have been like, reel it in, like take a chill pill
like,
and just
here's
like sit
the
down?
worst case scenario.
Yeah.
Who? What do you mean? Who reeled
Like
it
they
in?
didn't. They like my doctor could have said like, oh, like high leak ruptures happen. It could have
Yeah.
like healed itself. Instead, I like no one told me anything. I peed myself, so I just like was as active as I was before. Like part of me is like,
That's a miss. I want to
Really?
know who your doctor is. You can tell me later,
I
so you
know.
don't call them out.
Yeah.
Do we know? It's a no. It's no one we go to.
No.
Yeah, that's
all,
a
because-
miss
yeah.
because the minute they of course the first thing they say is you're probably because of the pressure it's probably urine, you just don't know, and I'm like, no, this is not that.
Mm-mm.
And they immediately tested. But mine was like leaking like a lot.
I mean,
Like I was like I had to like it was like wet.
mine was wet.
Yeah,
Hers was too.
yeah.
was
They
wet.
should have, and so they immediately tested, and they're like, yep, they
Yeah.
know right away.
No, she didn't test.
So that's a bummer. But I mean, really,
But he's
truly,
perfect,
he's
so,
perfect.
yeah.
I'm sure. I mean, he would have been perfect if he was born,
But like like those last
10
4 weeks, I feel like I could have like mentally prepped myself a little bit more than like
You wouldn't have. Don't worry.
I guess.
Oh, you feel like you mean because he came early, you were depending on those last 4 weeks to prepare.
Well, I'm usually type A in my life, but like leading up to this, like was in more of a
You were very
calming
zen. You were
state.
very
I
zen.
was like, I was just living in like a nice little like low level.
Even when
Yeah.
you called
That-
saying you
yeah.
were pregnant. you were
Yeah,
just
that
like,
I just think that I think those last 4 weeks would have really like solidified some more stuff for me and allowed me to like prep a little bit. That although there's no
You never know what could have happened in those last 4 weeks. So he could have flipped around. You could have had
That's
a
true.
C-section. You could have been totally.
That's true. I almost had a
And he probably
C-section.
like flew out, no?
I was in labor 26 hours.
Why?
Because after I got to the hospital
Yeah.
and I started Pitocin and all this stuff,
Yeah.
he started like Miles was like, "Oh, never mind. I'm
Why
not
did
ready
they start
yet."
Pitocin?
Because I don't know. Oh, because like
Oh, because it had
My
been so
bag
long since
hadn't-
her water
yeah.
broke.
they
And I
wanted
think
to
you
like
have to
speed it up. Thank you. Because I'd been leaking for 2 days, so they were like, "He's been losing fluid for
Yeah.
2 days."
Without the fluid, it's like oxygen, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm guessing.
No, it's like the
Clearly,
cushion.
I'm not a medical professional.
But then they still have to break the bag, like
I don't know.
so. Like I was on Pitocin, they were like trying to speed up my contractions along, and then overnight, like
The Pitocin is so dangerous. Like
I had such a bad reaction.
from what
to
I
it.
hear, it's like most doctors don't want to do it, because of the risk of the blood pressure to the baby and to you.
this is also the problem is that I like stayed off of like the TikTok and the Instagram because the moment I would start going down all these rabbit holes of like Googling everything about
No,
what
you
they're
shouldn't
gonna
Google
give
it.
you.
Well, that was
But,
good.
like,
You shouldn't.
I
You
know,
shouldn't.
but like
No, you did the right thing. You wouldn't have wanted to
but
do
now
that.
I know nothing about like the dangers of Pitocin. I just like let them shoot me up with it.
Well,
Well,
it was. I think it's
You know,
less
I'm
common.
like-
It for a lot of years, it was a really common practice, and I think it's become less, less popular because of the, I would think that like I don't know, maybe the reactions have gotten worse in people, but the risks of the blood pressure and it's stressing the baby out.
Oh well, he got stressed, and
Yeah.
maybe it was probably due to this because it
Yeah.
in the end started
Yeah.
slowing the progress.
Yeah.
Like once I
Yeah.
got to the hospital, I didn't break another centimeter. Like I didn't dilate another
But probably
centimeter
because like
for
you're young and
hours.
you're not like high risk, and they're like, well, if it doesn't work, then we'll do a C-section. But they don't want to do that until
I forgot the worst part of this whole experience. My doctor was on vacation, so I had 6 different doctors rotating through my labor because
Were
all
they
of them were on call.
Cedars doctors, or were they?
I'm so here. Let me say I loved giving. I gave birth at Providence in Santa Monica.
Okay.
Loved the hospital.
People
Loved
like
my
it there.
nurses.
Providence is
Yeah.
so nice.
They
Yeah,
had
people like
like
it there.
it's such a nice.
Were they
room.
Providence doctors, or were they people from the practice?
They were people from the practice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I had 6 different doctors.
Well,
all
my
with
doctor was
different
also out of town when
suggestions.
I gave birth to my preemie, so
Yeah.
smoke
She
if you
and
got
then
'em.
I saw her at my 6-week checkup. She's like,
That's right.
"Oh, didn't think that would happen so soon. Sorry, I missed it." I was like, "Yeah,
Oh, your 6-week checkup.
uh
Yeah.
huh."
Well, maybe we need to find you a different doctor for your second baby.
I'm moving to a different doctor,
Okay,
but in
maybe.
the same practice. Because I loved
Okay. You loved the person you
But
ended
you're
up
not
getting?
going to be over
Yes.
there anymore.
I loved the perfect. I know, but I loved getting
Oh, why?
birth at
Did you live in Santa
Providence.
Monica?
I lived
She
in
lives
I
in-
live in like Culver. I lived in Venice and then Culver, so like I'm West
She's
Side.
What the I don't know anyone West Side. It's like meeting someone from
I'm-
another
well,
country.
Seriously.
I drove from the West Side today, guys. I know.
Wow. I'm impressed.
But no, I mean not for long. I'm gonna be a Valley girl soon.
You're going to move here?
She's moving into Agnes.
I'm moving to Agnes.
My God. I didn't know this.
Yeah. I'm just taking over her life. She's moving out and I'm moving in.
We might need to have a little jousting battle.
No, it's done. It's
Okay.
done.
There's no
It's
battle.
mine.
We've already done it. So for those of you who don't know what Agnes is, it's a house that Kottie currently lives in, which your brother owns and used to live in.
Yeah.
And now you live in it. And when you move into your renovated house,
Yep.
you're going to move in
And then Nicole moves in.
and you're going to rent it.
I'm gonna rent it.
It's a great place.
It's such a great place.
No one has anything bad to say about Agnes.
No. Everything good has happened at Agnes.
I'm so
I feel
excited.
safe having you in the valley. I feel better.
Right?
Right?
Yeah.
It does feel good. And having all these like you guys
Yeah.
near with like
Kottie and I can
I don't have
babysit
kids
if you
out
go out to
there.
dinner.
You
They're-
need
my
mom
friends don't have kids. I need mom friends.
I mean, I love your friends. Your friends are amazing.
But
But
we're in like a
it's
different
just
cycle
hard.
now.
How old are you?
I'm 30. I just turned 30.
She was knocked up.
I had a teen pregnancy.
Teen. You're basically a child.
Yeah.
And did you get married or not? You're just engaged.
No, we're just engaged.
I mean, are you happy with that, or like, were you wanting to be
We-
married before? Or did you not care? Or were you like,
Miles was an oopsie.
really?
Oops. Yeah.
You in a Disney shirt.
Wasn't-
too.
Okay.
What do you mean in a Disney shirt?
We had gone to Disney.
We went to Disneyland, and she went into like the merch store.
Yeah.
and
I
she
love
bought-
sleeping in huge
Okay, well,
t-shirts.
There are
like
other
there's
ones.
nothing.
So
It was
What?
retro.
Is
It
this-
was cute.
Was this the
Hold on.
hookup that
Yes.
that caused
So
Miles?
wait a minute. So we're leaving, and she's like, "Look what I got," and
No,
she
I
pulls
didn't.
out.
I didn't
She
say
pulls
it like
out.
that.
Everyone's pulling out what they got, and Nicole's like, "I got a sleep
You were
shirt, and it's Minnie Mouse on it like this, and it's violet." And I went, "That's disgusting." And she was like, "Don't say that. I love oversized shirts." I was like, "Troy's not going to touch you in that." I was like, "That is such a boner killer."
You were wrong.
And then the next morning, she's like, I'm in her shirt, and she's like, "He touched me." I'm like,
No, I didn't say it like
I
that,
know,
but
you know?
yeah.
Connie makes things seem gross when they're not.
It wasn't that gross, and that shirt wasn't that unattractive. But I'm like,
It had Minnie Mouse on it.
I'm not gonna be like hubba hubba, honey. Like, look at me in my Minnie Mouse shirt.
Yeah, you sick.
You're, like,
It's not like a
naturally drawn
Minnie
to
Mouse
me.
fetish.
Hot diggity dog. I was
Anyway, yeah,
Anyway,
Miles
yes.
came from that.
Okay, so, but were you engaged before?
No,
Okay, but
we
you
had
knew-
been talking about it. Like this was like the past. Like
You
we
knew,
just did things
yeah,
out of
yeah,
order.
yeah.
Like,
Like, and you'd been together for a while.
yeah,
You
and,
lived together
like,
already.
We had already lived together,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
we knew this is what we wanted.
And who cares? Yeah,
But this was just not. The
it is
timing in
jarring. So
which-
I was 30 when I got pregnant with Luca, and like had turned 31 1 week before I had him.
Mhm.
So basically, I was 30. I
Yeah.
like to tell everyone I was
Yeah.
7 days. I was still almost 30. But I agree with you. None of my friends or sister had
She was
kids.
in a similar situation.
Luckily, my sister-in-law had kids already, that was helpful. But it felt like the end of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. In
Yeah.
fact, I didn't even tell my husband for the first 24 hours after I found out because I was like,
Oh, Kottie was the first person I told, actually.
right? You were the first
Yeah.
person I told.
I was in the bathroom
Yeah.
and I got the test and
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit. Called her
It's
immediately.
it's a lot, I think. I mean, I
Pregnancy pack.
well, I think the fact that it's your first, and then the fact that you are younger and you're not like surrounded by all these people with babies, and it's just like, okay, I'm ready for this
Mhm.
because you're already sort of like hanging out with people with babies and things. Like it feels sort of like the end of your life in a way, but it's so not.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so
no,
not.
it's
No.
not. But I don't think that part hit me really, and this is going to sound awful, until like after I gave birth. Like I think I was living in ignorant
You're
bliss.
living it. You just don't know
when
what to
you're
expect. You're
pregnant.
like, I'm gonna have
Yeah,
a
and like
baby.
your friends don't like.
Well, no,
my
after
friends
the shock
don't know
of knowing,
about it.
after you find out you're pregnant, the pregnancy itself, you're not that
No.
weirded out because
I couldn't stop crying.
oh,
Remember
I-
that?
oh,
You're
I was
like,
not
Why are you crying?
when you were pregnant.
Remember when I was pregnant with the child? I was like, I can't believe it's happening. I'll get used to it.
So yours
I don't
happened
remember
before.
that. I blocked that out.
Oh, I was
I
crying.
I have a knack for blocking
Yeah.
things out.
You really do. because-
Compartmentalizing.
but You were also
I do.
pregnant too.
Was I?
You were pregnant with Dom.
Dom.
And so
Dom's
you were
number
so,
2, right?
3.
So
Third
Third
already
time's a
had.
charm.
You already had. You were in your third,
when I got pregnant
and
with
so
Ted.
she were like she was done after you were just starting and you were done. Wow, amazing.
Well, let's see.
Oh,
Just kidding. I don't know.
Wait, are you
What?
pregnant?
No.
Oh.
I sort of want one more, but everyone thinks I'm crazy.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I want her to have one more. You should see Ted with
Third
Miles
time's
at the
a-
house right now.
Oh my
Well, see,
God.
but I have perfection already.
Yeah, you
I've
do.
achieved the third, and he's. I mean,
he's your Kottie.
I don't think I
He
can
is
do
your
better.
Kottie.
I mean, I
know
love
if you
love
can.
families of 5. Family of 5 is good.
It's good. No,
Starting
it's good.
5.
I'm,
Five is good.
I'm a little like it's like I'm getting a little overzealous, like with thinking about a fourth.
Yeah,
but
And my Troy's always like, the more that you pop out, the higher risk that like it's gonna be crazy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
I
I'm
mean,
like,
that makes sense statistically.
once you're already good, once you're done, once you have your 3 that you love so much, why
Yeah.
mess with it?
I know.
I also came
I
from
had
a
a-
family
I
of
had
3.
a-
You come from a family of 3.
do.
Yeah.
It's just you and your sister.
Yeah,
right?
and I had to do more than 2 because that whole situation
need
was
a third.
like
Yeah.
a toxic.
It's a bouncer.
Yeah, you need a buffer.
You need
Yeah.
a buffer, a bouncer,
Yeah.
a buffer.
Also, I think your kids need to be more than like a year and change apart. Like I think
100%.
they need to be at least 2 plus 2.5. I mean, I
My mom was on a strict schedule. We were all 2 years apart.
great,
I'm
but
like, good for her.
But yeah, 1 year is complicated because sibling rivalry.
Are your first 2 only a year
is-
apart?
no, my sister's only a year older than
Oh,
me,
you.
and it's like
It's too close.
hard.
It's
It's
you're gonna
too
fight with a
close.
sibling regardless, but when
Yeah.
you're that close in age, it's like
If like she was a boy or I was a boy, you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
think that would have diffused it a bit. But yeah, our specific family dynamic and like the separation and the divorce and there was just like a lot of like every man for themselves, and we were so close in age, and so I think it really like created this like
Competition? Were you guys like
it was just like a tumultuous like environment. I'm not competitive. I stand by this, Kottie.
What?
I'm not competitive with my sister.
oh no, not at all.
Oh, in the world,
In
maybe
the
a
world
little.
you are. Yeah, you are.
But with Jenny,
I don't know. It's not a clear cut question.
do you think I'm competitive with her?
I don't.
You can
I
be
don't know
honest.
how you can't be when you're that close in age.
I think you both are in a weird way when you're that close in age.
Okay,
Like,
well, maybe it's a
I think-
different
I
type
think
of it's a different type of competition. Like
Mhm.
we don't speak the same
I don't
language.
think it's one sided. Is what I'm saying. I don't think it's one sided.
I'm sure that I've just because of conditioning and the way the dynamics that I've been forced.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
reactive.
It's maybe it's more reactive competition, but yes, I think she's probably more ambitious, more competitive, in the world than. And then I think I've felt a little bit like that was a lot for me, like to handle. And I always say that if there was more age, I think it would have definitely diffused it. Would it have been non-existent? Probably not.
No, I
Yeah,
mean, there's
no.
always that factor with your
Yeah.
siblings. Although
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
not for you, because you were like,
I'm so far.
you're so
I'm
far
so
from them.
far under. I'm
Like
s-
you
yeah.
were like just like the fun little baby that
Yeah.
like came
Yeah.
like
Little
once they were
baby.
older, and then like everyone
Yeah,
just
I
loved
think-
you at all times.
Yeah, our sibling lineup is perfection only because Bert and Annie are so drastically different that there's no
Mhm.
competition between the two of them. They
Yeah.
just coexist.
Yeah.
And they always have.
Yeah.
And then you have me, and it's like I'm just the little one. I'm 10
Yeah.
years later.
Annie's like, remember the girls that were on? They were like, your number, like you're a this, you're
Oh,
a
yeah.
that. Annie's a 10.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like the higher the number, the like
Wait, what are you guys talking
the
about?
less like life lessons you have, kind of in the weirdest way, right?
Yeah.
Like you've like in theory I forget Ainsley or something, like you've lived so
Yeah.
many lives and you've already like come back and like really you're sort of
I'm
weirdly
like
free.
floating in the middle. I'm like a 6. What were you, a 7?
Is there a test that you do for this?
I don't know.
Oh.
These girls were on, they were cool and interesting, but also like non-conclusive about everything.
I
So
know,
there's
like-
like there was a lot of information like scattered, like splattered on the walls
It
of
was
this room.
vague at the end. Where I was like, what do I do with my number? And
Yeah.
you're like, you just coexist with it. I'm
Yeah,
like,
you're like,
well, what
Well,
does
I
that
took one
mean?
of I took I'm gonna take it to a dark place. I took those I think I have a touch of postpartum depression.
Okay.
So I took one of those like screening tests that my therapist sent me. The
Yeah.
therapist
Oh,
sent
yeah.
me.
Yeah.
And they give you numbers at the fucking end. of
I
it.
know.
And then they just like
Is it on a computer?
I had to do it on my phone,
Yeah.
and then they gave me scores, and I'm
Oh.
like, so I'm just supposed to have this number until I
And
talk to
then
you in 2 weeks?
Every
Like
time you go to the doctor,
they take it again?
Even the pediatrician will do it. They'll give you a thing, and you're like, I know this number system.
Well, first of all,
But
I
they
think
shouldn't
everyone
leave you with
has-
that number before you talk to somebody.
everybody has a little bit of postpartum.
Everyone.
It's
Okay.
a lot.
And you should just
No,
get
it's not a lot.
on medication.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been in my life, so I think it's now time. And I don't think that I think I've had undiagnosed, like,
What are you feeling?
I'm feeling.
Do you feel like isolated?
No,
Good word.
I'm not actually. I was very. I've been very in tune with like my tears in my life, but like there have never been as many tears as there have been in the last 8 weeks.
Yeah, of course. Well, I mean, if you didn't, I'd be like, you're weird.
Yeah, and
like
I
you're
think
dead inside.
Yeah,
and
there's so much.
There's so much.
A flood of emotion.
It's not like it's just every emotion at one time.
Yeah.
I look at everyone in my life and I talk about it. And I'm like, I'm not unhappy.
Yeah.
No.
I'm happy. I'm sad. I'm excited. I'm anxious. I'm everything all at once coursing through my body. And I've never had to deal with that before. And I was really lucky where my mom was with us for the first couple weeks where he's been here.
Where does she live?
She lives in DC.
Okay.
So she came out early. She literally made it for when he came.
Amazing.
Arrived in the delivery room and then honestly just left until this last Monday.
Okay.
So we've had an extra set of hands that has just been like God sent. And so when she left, it also I think has reinvigorated like
so cut
what
to
I was
Nicole
feeling.
calling me
it's
at
reconstituted.
Nicole calls me at 1:00 on Monday. She's like, "Hey," I was like, "Oh, she left." She's like, "Yeah, I'm okay. Just I'm working through it. I don't know if I'm sad."
It's just a lot. Like you just had someone else to like that I like.
I know.
She's my mom who I could like just like.
Yeah.
It was just something else to like have with me, and like so now that she's
that's
gone,
hard. I mean, my mom didn't stay as long as she said she would the first few. I think any of the times, but it is hard when they leave initially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean I'm on day 4, and I'm like I already feel a little better.
Yeah,
so it's like crazy that like
and also,
I feel so drastic.
But also that's good for you because then you realize, oh, I can do this.
Well, I think that was part of it is that I love having her here.
Yes.
But I also felt like I wasn't able to fully step into my own in terms of like what this was going to be like as a mom.
You know what is funny though? What I noticed is that when because I didn't have my parents come out with Lola because it was COVID and they couldn't get here.
Yeah.
So what I did notice with Lola, I had really bad postpartum because there's something different when the mom's mom is there. They are there to take care of you. When everyone else comes, they're there to see the baby. They're dote on the baby and feed them, and I'll feed them. I'll do this. I'll do that. No one is there singularly to take care of you besides your mom.
Because you're still a baby.
Even your in-law. And my in-law's hyper focused, aware on me, almost to a point that she does it intentionally. And it's smart. I've always said this. She's really smart about it, is that she is always on my side, you know? And it's just different, you know?
No, it is.
It's just different when you have your own mom there. Not even your in-law can really replace your own mom. It's just, and that's when I hit a wall with Lola when I was like, I am so sick of everyone coming to take care of this baby. Like I am falling apart in this room and no one.
And like, you're not going to be able to talk to anyone like your own mom. So of course you're not going to like when all these
it's different
people
when they're not here.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard.
But I have nothing to worry about. She's going to be back in 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, but in the meantime, you're going to get your like sea legs back.
100%. And that is already feeling better. Like going out of the house with him. Like I've now driven for the first time alone with him in the car without Troy there. Like,
the worst.
But it's like just things, being able to do things on our own, like together is making me.
It's empowering.
It's so fun too. 100%. Like I remember like it was just me and Luca, my first, and I'd be like, I got like a wingman at all times. It was fun.
I remember when you first came over when Ted was born.
Yeah.
And I felt such a sense of relief where I went, it's like I could breathe again. Because you fucking fly in with your little nails and you're just cleaning his shit and you're just like.
She always says this story. I like cleaned, I did change his diaper or something.
Changed his diaper and she was moving so fast. I was like, oh my God.
I had like nails on it. She always talks about my nails and his penis. And I'm like, this is just too. She always.
Well, no, she scared me. Like, she's like, you have to cut those things before the baby comes.
No,
like,
because there was such a sense
do
of.
not.
There was
I know,
such
I'm kind of ready to get them back on.
I know it sounds gross about her nails and his penis, but
they look pretty. They're long.
Well, you know, I got them done because my mom was here.
There was such, what I say about her nails and his penis was he had just been.
What do you think she was doing? Like scraping?
And she was like, no, but she was like, you know, cleaning them up because he was just circumcised. And there was such a sense of ease watching her that I went, oh, wait, I don't need to be so fucking careful. You know, she was like, it's fine. It's fine. He's fine. And I'm like, whoa, okay. And you're like,
you feel like you're gonna break them when they first get here.
It's your first, and you're kind of like manic, and you're
well,
like,
you made fun of me the same way. You were like, of course you're hand sanitizing everything, or like
they dropped
cleaning.
the pacifier at our house. They brought Miles over.
Okay, he was on day 4.
They dropped the pacifier
Foiled it?
in our house.
Yeah.
They're like, well, guess we don't have a passy for the ride home. And I was like, or you can run it underwater. They're like, great idea. Well.
So what do you think about like going on something? Do you feel like that would help you, or do you think you're like gonna get through, like you're getting through it already?
I
like
think
what's
I'm
the
not.
timeline? Don't they say there's a timeline?
It
What do you
does
mean, to
pass
get on it?
quickly.
No. Like for postpartum.
Well,
of
when
like,
I Googled it, it was like if you don't get it treated within like a couple
Jesus.
months,
You're
like you're
fucked.
like this for years.
No,
And I'm like, okay, I need a thermostat.
it's
no,
more
I'm not
just like the
opposed to it.
flush of the like the hormones and the chemicals in your body are like all like
Yeah.
wow.
No, I'm not opposed to it, but like when my mom was here, I was able to like obviously, like I said, like go get my nails done or like go for a run. And without her, I'm like, oh my God, I'm not gonna be able to do any of those things because like my fiance won't be able to like work and watch him for a second. But we've already gotten to a routine where like he's like, go for a run. Like I have 30 minutes where I can like sit on the couch and like watch him sleep and you can go do those things. And just being able to do that has helped my mood so drastically. It's like alarming.
And that's good that you're, because it's like those little things that are so important that are going to change your day, that are going to make or break your day.
I feel like a brand new person if I can like go to the gym or go on a run.
My personal opinion of like how I'm sensing you right now is that I think you're not going to need anything.
Yeah.
But again, if you do, it's like you wouldn't need, you could go on something for like a month or two and then not. I mean, it does go quickly.
Yeah.
It goes
I'm
by.
not opposed.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not opposed.
Yeah.
But this is like, I've never had a therapist before.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is all new for me. So
Yeah.
I'm just going to lean in and like.
I think just lean in. I don't get the sense that you're as dark as like.
It is. It's only when I'm like sitting in the rocking chair, like in the dark, in the corner, like rocking him to sleep, and I'm like, oh my God,
totally.
Darkness, my old friend.
playing like piano lullabies.
I went on this Abilify, remember, and it like, and I started like shopping, like I mean, I shop a lot anyways, but I was like started like just like purchasing an insane quantity and like just over than like. Out of the norm for me.
Yeah.
And then I Googled like side effects of the medication. And it was like, can induce gambling, heavy spending. I swear.
How is that a side effect?
I don't know. It like, because I think it like, I don't know, boosts you like,
you're like, just like want things. You want to plan.
You're just like,
have...
you're like confident and like, fuck
your
like,
decisions.
let it ride.
I'm so decisive. Check out.
Yeah.
Let it ride.
Yeah. I don't know exactly what part of the brain that
hilarious.
works on, but I was like, well,
There you
go.
So funny. I've been tapering off my and my shopping just within the last week has like dropped by like 40%.
So maybe it's the same side effect.
I am a fucking hot hand on that online shopping.
Now you're so sensible.
I'm really sensible.
Rational.
You guys, I already told you, but I did get a spray tan before I came here, and this chair may or may not be orange the next time we see it.
It's gonna be like
this is why I'm barefoot and I'm all snuggled up, and I have no bra on.
And I have no bra.
Yeah, you can't put a bra on for a spray
You can't.
tan.
No, I went to Sugared and Bronze.
Oh
have
my
you
God.
ever been there?
Oh,
yes, I told you to go.
Loves it.
Oh,
it's the best.
Yeah, I always pass it, and this girl I know had the best color, and was like Sugar and
the
Bronze.
only spray tan I've ever enjoyed. And the only one I've been a repeat customer at.
It also feels like you're getting a cryo treatment because it's so cold. I'm like,
cold
plunge. Anti-inflammatory.
Although, but don't do the sugaring.
Anti-inflammatory.
Sugaring hurts so bad.
Oh, that's the other thing. I don't totally understand sugaring. Have you done it?
No, but
hair
everyone I
removal.
know.
They take sugar and
they mix it with honey and like
and they
sugar
just,
crystals and they rub it all over your skin. And that's how they
Are you super soft after?
I don't know because anyone I've ever known that's done
Have
it
you done
was
it?
like, no.
Oh.
They said it's the most painful experience they've ever
Like
had.
for the Brazilian, you're like grind away.
Roll them up. No. It must get caught in all the crevices.
Could you imagine going through the brutalness of one side of a Brazilian and then being like,
I'm good.
next one.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm all good.
I've had enough. I'm good.
No, I'm good.
I'm
I'm also lasered now, so you know.
It didn't come back after you got pregnant?
Honestly, not too bad.
Oh.
I only need a couple touch-ups, I think, and then I'm good.
I've been lasered too, and I feel like it's come back on my like lower legs. More than any. I don't really think I've gotten it back anywhere else.
I mean, I
have you not lasered?
highly suggest.
Oh my God!
But you're kind of hairless, aren't
great.
you? I feel like you're hairless.
She's a hairless cat.
You're pretty.
No, I'm not.
You don't have a lot of hair.
Yes, I do.
Oh yeah, you do.
Oh,
Yeah, I do.
your legs would be a perfect candidate.
Wow, you have black hair in your legs.
Yeah, I know. Okay, we can cut that out. Just kidding. You can keep it in.
Don't cut it out. Don't cut it out.
No, I really do. I'd be Do you know what? Whenever I go to the dermatologist, they're like, "You would be a perfect candidate
because you're so
light
white
skinned
and
you've got black hair."
And
They're
that's
like,
the most effective.
it could be like
Yeah.
3 sessions and
Yeah.
you'd be done.
Well,
It's
so I stopped.
game-changing.
I
love
stopped
it.
doing the upper half of my leg because I have hair, but it's like light hair and it doesn't do anything. So I was like pain, and it was
Yeah, you're like,
I
not
still
worth
have
it.
like fuzz, but it's not going to go away with the laser.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you never shave your legs?
I do like my lower. No, I will because this won't come off with like some of it did, but like
you're probably shaving like once every couple weeks.
Wait, what about the lower part?
once every couple weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Me too.
Yeah.
And I used to be like,
Yeah.
I used to get 5 o'clock shadow on my legs.
It's great.
It's amazing.
And I think if I refer
And
you,
it
I get a
doesn't hurt?
discount because I need to touch up. So I'm going to refer you.
It's
Refer me.
not
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
uncomfortable. Oh, I used to do so
Oh, it's
too.
barely.
But you just got to make sure you go to the one with like the cold hose.
Oh, it's like barely. And they're like, does that hurt? I'm like, nope.
Except you're white, okay? I'm brown. It
Oh.
kind of hurts for the brown girls.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because they have to
Interesting.
knock
Who's,
up the
like-
settings.
Who's not a candidate
Oh.
for it?
I guess if you have like
Blonde
dark
hair.
skin and light hair, but like that would never happen.
Or
Who's
if you're
not?
like light hair, light skin too,
Yeah.
I guess.
Just
Just
oh,
light.
I see why. Because the dark skin.
because the laser, all it's
Doesn't know the
doing is
difference.
pinpointing the darkness. So since you have dark hair on your white legs, it's like, oh,
Oh.
The
if you
follicle,
have
it
dark
needs the
hair
dark, yeah.
and dark legs,
Yeah.
it's why they like try and say like, don't come after you've been in the sun because like that's when you'd be at your darkest. Also, your skin's a little like
Sensitive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will you refer me? I want to start. I want to do my armpits.
But I used to go to
stuff.
sub.
Oh my God.
lab
I
stuff.
never have to do my armpits.
Honestly, the armpits are the most painful part, though.
Cool.
Oh, I don't think so.
I think so.
I would do my arms, but
yeah, no,
But mine
if-
are like, did you do your arms?
No, I didn't do my arms, but
My arms
the nail
are
lady,
light.
when I was in getting ready for my high school prom, was like, "Do you want me to wax your arms?" I'm like, "That's the least of my worries, girl." I was like, "Oh, I guess."
Okay, so what's your game plan with the baby? Like, are you gonna get a nanny?
Oh,
like,
I don't. I'm just taking over Kottie's life. I'm getting Mimi.
you're gonna pay her that kind of money?
Well, here's what we're doing. I know. What? Don't tell Troy because
Why don't you take Herman?
Who's Herman?
Oh. Not Herman.
Oh,
My friend Herman, he's a nanny.
I mean, okay. We were gonna do the company sponsored daycare, but we're not in yet. And I also am just so
Is
get
that the one on Pico
anxiety.
or is that on a different look? Is it Burbank?
There's one in Burbank.
Okay.
The thought of him being one of 4 in like a room of like 2-year-olds just makes me feel sad. So I would just prefer him be home until he can at least walk.
I agree.
Give me at least him on his feet, and then I'll take him out to a daycare.
So wait, is she hiring Mimi?
Yeah,
Like,
Mimi
he's
sent me her
watching him
resume.
right
The
now.
deal is done,
I mean, it's not a contract, but the deal is essentially.
and
done.
you're not going to have her anymore.
This is a slow transition.
It's a
though.
slow
This
transition.
is like going to be a part time when we're in the valley, and then full time when I'm back at work.
Yeah.
When are you back at work?
The Monday after
December?
Thanksgiving,
Motherfucker.
December 2nd.
Wait, how?
What do you mean? How?
I took PTO too.
What's that?
Paid time off.
Paid time
Oh,
off.
but hold
Vacation
on.
days.
So you get
So you get
6 weeks.
6 weeks.
Break this down for me.
You get 6 weeks from California. 8 weeks if you have a
Oh my God, you
C-section.
didn't have to do any of this.
No,
And then
let
you
her
get
talk.
8 weeks from the company again. Company full paid 8 weeks. Then you get 4 weeks from the state, partially paid. You can like qualify for partial pay. And then after that, so that's what, 3 months?
Yeah.
After that, California protects you for at least another 9 months. If you want to take 9 months, you just don't get paid. So who
Oh,
wants to do
and they
that?
can't fire you.
They can't fire you. Disney can't
So
fire you
how
for
many
12
months are you
years.
getting
Cut
off
that
total?
So I'm getting 3 months from
Yeah.
my leaves.
Yeah.
And then I had so much PTO
Yeah.
that I'm using my PTO to get me to the end.
So how much is that?
I had
5 months?
7 weeks of PTO, so I'm also breaking it up. So I'm going to do this slow burn back. Like I'll come 2 days a week, or I'll be like on 2 days a week.
Does that mess?
But Kottie's my boss, so like she'll just call me.
But do you
and-
have someone subbing in for her?
Mm-hmm.
And then what
Is that
happens to that person when you come back?
They're gone.
Did you not have to do disability or anything?
Disability?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, it's you apply for disability. That's what I
No,
had to do.
did you do that or no?
With who? The state?
With any of your kids?
No.
Oh.
What do you mean? I'm
Well, yeah, you
self-employed.
can't. You can if you're
can,
self-employed.
yeah.
Because they asked me that question if
Yeah.
I was
Who's going to pay me?
The
California.
State. California does. It's what you put into your social.
Well, it's a little late now. Thanks for telling me.
Can you do back pay? Can the state do back pay?
Guys, it just was brought
But the
to my
state
attention.
pays you?
Yeah. They'll just pay you up to a certain amount. But then the only reason, and then Disney will cover the rest. But you just wouldn't have a
Well,
a
I'm
Disney
due some
cover.
money,
I know you
California.
are. You owe like they at least owe
I
you
think
like
this is going
3
to pay
months
for my Scandinavian adventures.
I know. It's
Yeah.
great.
All right. Okay, well, I like this plan. I mean, you're in good hands, obviously.
Mhm.
I think that, I think that the price with this particular nanny is a bit psycho.
Okay, don't tell. Yeah, I know,
But other than that, I'm on board.
she's gave me a great resume. She has lots of experience.
She does have lots of experience.
She can help with the sleep training. These times right now are like heavy investment in your kids.
Yeah.
All your money is like going to them and making
ROI,
sure
baby.
that they're safe, taken care of.
And
And then that way he'll grow up to be a very successful whatever, and he'll take care of me as I'm dying. Right?
Jesus.
Is that all?
Maybe those pills aren't a bad idea.
I want to pluck that lash off your face.
I know. I can't stop staring at it.
Nicole's
I'm making eye
gonna pin
contact.
you down,
with
and I'm going to
No.
pluck it
No,
out of
wait,
your
you're
face.
not.
She won't.
It'll all
I
go-
think she'd
no.
cry.
Why
I don't
can't
think she'd ever
why,
talk to
why
us
can't I
again.
trim it?
Because it's her
Because
lucky
it's her
eyelash.
lucky
I know, but
eyelash.
it's like it creeps me out.
I'm sure it does.
It is
Oh.
crazy though that it's the same. What?
Is it always
Oh,
there?
you're taking the mascara off.
Let me take the mascara.
Is it always there?
No.
No.
It only happens
only-
like once every few years. Last time I had one, I was pregnant with Lola.
No,
I
It's not-
remember
is it
it. And I
every 3
hated it. It
years?
was like half gray, and I needed to be plucked
It is
from your
like
face.
scary long. Like I need you guys to take a picture of it and like tell the people because
I know
it's like so long.
you wouldn't. It's not believable.
Oh, wait,
Look at her.
it
She
is?
tucked it in.
You
She
did.
she like tucked it
I
in.
tucked it in and I took the
don't
mascara
move.
off the tip.
You did. You did.
I'm sorry, guys. You
But
love
it's
me or you
crazy.
leave me.
It's crazy how it's just that one eyelash.
It's always this
it's
eyelash
always
and it's
that
always
one.
right here.
Doesn't it
Bert's
happen to
got the
Bert
same
too?
exact one.
Great. I feel better now.
It's genetic.
It only happens every couple years. That's why I won't cut it.
Can we pluck?
What do you
Bert's?
think
Will
is
he
on
let
the
us pluck it?
verge? Oh my god, I know why you have it
Yeah.
now.
No. What?
He wouldn't.
Because you're about to move in. It's the start of a new
Oh.
chapter.
Wait, he wouldn't let us pluck it if we asked.
No fucking
He
way.
considers it lucky.
Yeah.
You guys are freaks. Wait, you're moving in when?
No, but I mean, it's on the verge.
Yeah.
That's on
it's
the.
like when big life changes happen to me, I get one of these.
Oh, is that
It's
why you
called
think
stress.
it's popped out? So what are we thinking? September
stress hair.
September
It's a
1?
stress hair.
Do you have a hard move-in date?
No.
Oh.
I'm like every day. I'm like, do you have my 30 day yet? I need
Yeah.
a 30 day.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because
Because we're in an apartment
yeah.
right now.
I don't
so.
know. I wish I had a better grasp of like timeline because I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, like insulation is in and they're
Okay.
about to do drywall.
What are they telling you?
I'm not asking.
Oh.
I don't want to know.
I
per
need you
se.
to ask.
I know.
Please.
I know.
Just
I'll
ask so that
I'll
we
ask
have
today.
some
Well, I
sense.
asked him a few weeks ago and he said you'll be in before the holidays.
You think it won't be before holidays?
No. Oh no. We're definitely
Because I have to come get my Christmas tree.
no.
No, Trinidad. Trinidad is where a lot of the nannies are from. over there.
Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah,
I love saying
yeah.
Tobago.
Over there.
don't
Like,
know what that
isn't that
means.
Caribbean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we don't have a Caribbean population out
No.
here. I wish we did. Like,
And
we need some Jamaicans out here.
The food is amazing.
So good. I know. I was like,
Yes.
so good.
Anyways, the whole thing is, but I do think they communicate and then they're like, you make that much? Okay, I want to make this much.
The bar has yeah.
It went a little crazy.
So happy. Inflation. What do you got to do?
Inflation everywhere. But I just think that it has become quite extreme.
Yeah, it
Sure.
has. Not extreme. I mean, it is what it is. Cost of living, baby.
And then whenever you have some, like one employee, like we have, Duran has like all these employees that work for the company, but then it's like when you have an employee that works for you in your home, I mean, it's he still will never understand it because I have such a strong relationship with these people, like more than him.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much more personal.
Yeah.
It becomes
yeah.
like, family in a way.
Yeah.
And he's like, never say that. They're not family, but they are.
But they're taking care of like your most prized.
Yeah.
Prized
So they are.
possessions.
I mean, for me, they are. And I still have like a really good relationship with our nanny that was
I
with us for a
still
long time.
remember
And I mean,
the name of my nanny who like helped my mom.
Really?
When I grew up.
what was her
Yeah.
name?
Alicia.
What was yours? Look, she's like, I don't
fucking
know.
remember.
Well,
Actually.
Clemencia also
Betty.
used to work for me.
Betty.
Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
She was she was Luca's nanny.
Oh my god, I love Mensa.
See, you're turning into Kottie and Kottie's turned into me.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially,
So
you're
it's just
turning
like a
into
life
Samantha.
cycle.
Yes, it's a life cycle. I'm about to turn to dust.
No.
You
We're all
mummy.
just like giving each other the same
Mummy money.
knowledge.
Yeah.
Well, thank God you gave it to her because I'd be a hot mess.
Well-
Kottie's my put together mom friend. So how does that
Aw.
make you feel?
She's mine.
Exactly.
Aw, thank you. I'm a tanned mess right now. I'm about to like melt on this chair. Well, I'm not worried about you.
That makes me feel good.
Does that
When
make you feel good? I
When
love when she
Kottie
says that
told
to
me, your situation right now, I was like, okay, I get it. This is hard. And probably, do you plan on having more kids?
Yeah, I can't have an only. Imagine.
Yeah.
Do you know any only boys? I don't.
It's not a good sitch.
Do you know one?
A
I
few.
know one, yeah.
Oh,
I think
I don't know
kids,
any.
You would
and
have.
that scares
I think
me.
you would have good kids no matter what. But if you could have more, you should have more.
I want to have more.
And
I
think,
want 3. My fiance wants 2.
I just think with each kid, you're going to experience a different wash
I want
of
a girl
extreme
so
emotion.
bad. I know you're a boy mom, but I do want a girl so
No, I wanted a girl too, but
Oh.
I'm happy. I'm happy.
Once you get a
it worked out.
dom, gender doesn't matter.
That's true.
It's true. But I'm not worried about you. When she told me the situation you were in, I'm like, okay, I remember that first panic and that flush of, urgency. And it felt like everything was sort of like
Closing in.
closing in. And that can be overwhelming, but I feel like you have a really good handle on it. Your energy right now.
It's the arrogance that I walk through when
I think it's the arrogance you move through life with. No, I don't. But I feel like you. I don't know. I don't. I'm not worried about you.
Thanks. That does make me feel
I'm
good.
really not. I have
As
all
she
the
cries.
confidence. I have all the confidence. in the world
Honestly,
in
this
you.
is the first day where I feel like I am not going to cry at the drop of a dime.
Oh, good.
So
See?
that's good. I think it's the ring lights.
You're like,
Drying up my
they're
tear
drying out.
ducts.
And I know they're really intense.
But until like today, I could have like thought a sad thought and immediately started crying. Not a sad thought.
I
just
just
a
think
thought
there's
that
nothing
scared me.
sad about it. There's like
It's not. You're right. I have to stop
you're
saying
gaining
sad.
everything. You're really like your life is going to be so much more full. You're not losing anything.
Yeah.
It's
No.
all happiness. Really, truly, it is all happiness.
I mean, I look at him and I feel nothing but happiness. I
Yes,
look
I
in his
feel
eyes
nothing.
and I'm just like, wow, I like
I would kill someone
I would
for you.
kill someone for you.
Yeah.
And I look at you, you're like the cutest thing I've ever seen in my
Yeah,
entire
yeah.
life. I'm obsessed.
yeah.
But then I like close my eyes and I'm like, oh my God, there's so much money I have to spend.
And you're losing sleep, and
And
it's
I'm
it's
losing
all
sleep
it all messes
and like
with
my
you.
friends. And like when you don't get out of the house, I think this is also helpful.
Yeah.
When I don't get out of the like I come from a family of slugs. Like we love to sit on the couch and
Slugs.
like watch TV.
Yeah.
And when we don't leave the house, I'm like, we're going crazy just sitting here in like the air conditioning. Like
So you like to leave the house?
I like to leave the house. It makes me feel
Who's the family of slugs?
better.
Like your parents?
my parents.
Okay.
My
Yeah.
mom, my side of the
Sometimes I feel like my
family.
husband slugs out on the weekends, and I'm like, you better get. And like,
I
you know,
started,
and
yeah.
and by the way, he should be able to because
Yeah.
he's gone all week, but it bothers me.
Troy
Slugs.
is not a
Like,
slug.
lazy
Troy
piece
like
of
needs
Yeah.
to be out immediately. So like I'm in the in between where like just take me out of the house once. Like
yes,
my aunt was.
It's
when
funny
my
what a
4th
difference
of
that
July,
makes.
It changes the game.
changes everything, even if it's only for a half hour.
My aunt came to visit and we went to 4th of July at Kottie's house, which was what 4th of July was a Thursday.
Yeah.
We didn't leave the house again. Or they didn't leave the house again until like Sunday. I just want to go to lunch. And it was
Yeah.
like
Let's just get
no
out.
one could get ready. No one was moving. I was like,
Slug
fine, we'll
life.
just go get ice cream. I was like, that's right down the street. Like, let's
Yeah.
just go.
Just walk.
I was like, we're leaving in 30 minutes. My aunt goes in the shower to wash her hair. I'm like, no. I was like, we need to
Just
leave.
get out, throw a
now.
cap on, let's
No.
go.
I left them. I went and got it from
Yeah.
everyone because I was like,
No.
I was
Okay,
like,
so
I
you know
need
what you
one day.
need. You know what you
I
need.
know. But now that I can take him, like where it's almost, it's also
It's
helping.
more mobile now.
It's more mobile. Like
Yeah.
going to the office on Tuesday was great. Like even going to doctor's
The
office.
office?
Your office.
Oh, mine. Yes.
Yeah, that feels good.
It just feels
You're
good to
like
be out
signs
of
of
the
life.
house. I know.
Signs of life. Yeah. It makes you feel like
Because
a
at home
piece
you're
of
like, what?
yourself
You're just
again.
like every 3 hours doing the same
Yeah.
cycle.
Yeah.
And like if
Yeah.
it's not going perfectly to plan, then it is stressing me out. But when I
Yeah.
get out of the house, it like honestly the routine works better when I
Yeah.
leave.
It does, because then you come back with like more gusto, more
Yeah.
bandwidth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Even when I leave with him, I feel like the routine goes better when we get
yeah,
home.
yeah.
Which is strange.
I miss him, and I haven't even met
I
him.
know. You gotta come meet him.
I want to meet him.
He's so
Yeah,
cute.
you do.
So
Well, you know
cute.
that Kottie and I are here for you, and
I
if you
do,
want to
thank
ice her
you.
out of the equation and just call me, I'm also here for you.
Thank you.
She's
I
good.
might. I will.
She's
We have
she's
all the
OG.
information you need.
That's true. I
We
do
really
not live
do.
in the Google. I don't
Don't.
live. I
No.
can't.
You just
Don't.
call
I
us.
can't.
You call
yeah,
us.
no, I call somebody because I can't.
That's it.
Troy like loves Reddit, and I'm like, no, you won't find me in Reddit.
How did Reddit become a thing? Reddit seems just like random rantings of
right?
like
It's just
random people.
exactly, and
so
like,
disconnected.
and all of a sudden, this is who we're gonna listen to in terms of like what's going
The
on.
only time I listen to it if I'm like Googling something about like how to fix something on my car or like
Yeah.
how to fix like
not
a
like how to fix your baby.
no,
What's
like how to fix my
raise
door
your
handle.
child. Yeah,
Like what's going on? I don't know. Reddit
No.
is
Reddit.
I don't understand.
I don't Reddit. Guys love Reddit. Ask Mike. I bet he lives in
I think
Reddit
that's where
sometimes.
the Roman Empire thing came from.
Reddit.
Maybe.
I
Interesting.
don't even know what it is. It's like
It's just
messaging
like
boards?
chat. No, it's like it's like chat.
It's like
discussion
random
boards.
nonsense.
Yeah.
Random
I
nonsense.
always-
Someone asks a
Yeah.
question and
Yeah.
like a bunch of
And you don't know who's
usernames.
answering it or
No,
like
or
how,
where they are,
how
how old
credible
they are.
It's like,
Yeah.
hello, I'm a doctor.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, it's dumb.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Well, thanks for coming
Oh
on.
my god! Of course, this was fun.
Don't worry about it.
Or aren't we meeting
Oh, right.
with
What
the
do you-
nanny
what are
site?
your
Don't worry
guys'
about it,
Don't worry about it.
Nicole?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Don't
There you
worry
go. That
about
was a
it.
good one.
Oh, I
What's
get
a-
it. We're not worrying.
We're not worried.